Hello, I'm Shelly Sanchez Terrell, and I'm excited to be here for the Global Brew Ed Isolation event. We're truly a global audience, and we've been inspired by so many voices all around the world. And now I want to inspire you to help your students become the next world changers, or even the now generation of world changers. Our world has so many problems and issues, and they need real world solutions. We can begin taking our students on this journey today by inspiring them, being their champions, and also getting them to gain the skills, the strength, and being brave enough to be able to take those bold steps and continue that journey. I like to show them real world examples of innovators who have gone before them and who have made our world a lot better, like Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison, with this famous quote, shows how he went on the path of inventing the light bulb. And I often ask my students, well, what would happen if Thomas Edison would have quit after the first time? And often, my elementary students, I teach second and third specifically, project-based learning, but I also oversee the curriculum for kindergarten through fifth grade. And many of the students come in, and sometimes project-based learning is really hard. They have to cut for the first time or tie things together, or they have to be able to calculate or take measurements, and it can be very difficult for them. So they'll come in dejected and they'll say things like, oh, I'm just not very good at math or cutting or drawing and designing. And I asked them, well, what if you gave up after your 10th time? Or what if you gave up after your 11th time? Then we might not be able to see the brilliance that you have for the world. So keep continuing, just like Thomas Edison did. It didn't take him 100 tries, even 1,000 tries. It took him 10,000 tries before he was able to invent the light bulb. The other question I ask them is, what do you have within you? What are you passionate about that you would attempt 1,000 times? And some of them might think, wow, I'm just a little kid. I haven't done that. But then I remind them, do you know how to ride a bike? Or what kind of books are you reading? Or learning even how to walk? All of that took lots and lots of tries. It's not that you took a basketball and that you threw it in the hoop and you made it the first time. It probably took you a lot of times to throw that basketball before you made that basket. Or you may have fallen off the bike, even scratched yourself a few times before you learned how to ride a bike. Or it took your picture book and then you read several other books, and now you can read Dork Diaries or even like the Hunger Games. So it takes many, many steps, and sometimes our students don't even realize that they've been through the process to learn big things. It's important to show them real world examples, youth already making a difference, like Greta Thunberg, who has confronted leaders about climate change because she's so passionate. And she's an excellent example to show students, keep out there, keep trying, do new things. She even took a trip on a sailboat, anything, because she is so passionate about making a real difference with climate change. The Global Goals is another excellent resource. It has so many visuals, it has projects, it has where you can get together with students from around the world and even have discussions with 17 different issues and conflicts that are facing the world today. It's great to get those different voices. Just like we saw in this conference, we've seen so many voices and presenters from around the world, and we can get their perspective and it can challenge our perspective. And together we come up with real world solutions. I teach STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Sometimes you hear STREAM or sometimes you hear STEAM. But what it is it's a process, the engineering design process. And it's important students walk through a process to be able to understand how we come up with solutions, how we document those solutions, how we get to present them to others, and then be able to implement solutions and continue this for our journey of trying to change the world. First, students have to come up with that driving question. How are they going to frame that problem so that way it can guide their solution, their experiments, what they want to build and create to find that solution? And then imagine and brainstorm. That is so important. I recommend that students keep a journal. Many of the great innovators did. Even Thomas Edison had a journal where he made so many drawings and SketchUp, and they don't even have to be excellent drawers, but making them go through a process really helps them understand, especially in a tech easy world, that it's not just sending a tweet and then you contributed to helping climate change. It takes more than that. It takes trying to come up with, ideas. It's important that children and students change their self-talk. My dad, we grew up very, very poor, and I was one of the only ones in my neighborhood that was able to actually go to college. And I'm a first generation college student. So my dad was very keen on us having positive self-talk. And what that means is when your inner voice starts telling you, you can't do this, or you're not good at it, or you start listening to all those naysayers, and often our students do, you change that. You hear them, when you're walking around, and say, look, why don't you take one of these self-talk phrases and help yourself get over this hunch or make yourself more brave. And I love them. It's, I can be brave and step out of my comfort zone, or I keep an open mind, or I have permission to fail and learn. I have permission to go to plan B, C, D, and even Z. And so these are at northstarpath.com, and they're available for you to use free with students. I've written a few books about mission-minded learning. It's where we take our ideas or even world problems, and we send students on missions to be able to come up with solutions. So instead of just saying, hey, we're going to try and recycle program, or we're going to try and feed those around us in the community, we say, I am sending you on a mission. I believe you have hero potential, and that I'm going to send you on this mission. We're going to feed 10 people in our community, or we're going to write to the elderly and inspire them and show them that, we're interested in their stories. So whatever it is that you want to tackle with your students, send them on a mission. Frame it to where they feel like they are heroes and they're making a real difference, because that is what they're doing. At the end, they get a digital badge. You can also find lots of free resources at shellyterrell.com. In this short time, I'm not going to be able to give you all of the ideas that I have for inspiring your students to be world changers, but you can find them at shellyterrell.com/innovation. And of course, by listening to all these presentations at the Global Brew Ed Isolation event. If we want our students to be connected and to become global world changers, then it's really important that we are connected. We can see that joining these movements, Twitter chats, ed camps, conferences, webinars, MOOCs, taking ourselves and taking that time to be with other teachers that are very, very passionate too, will give us that support system. It's hard being a teacher, even in these times, especially in these times. And so we do need our supporters. We need ideas from others. It's a great way to connect and also connect classes and students. And if students see you being the model, then they'll be inspired too as well. This is my daughter, Savannah. She's 3 years old, and I'm so thankful that there are teachers like you with such a great passion to be her champion. And if anything today, please take away that what really matters and getting your students to be the next world changer or tap into their hero potential is that you believe in them, that you're their champion, and you say, even with all the naysayers, and trust me, they're on social media, so their ideas aren't only confined in a classroom, they're confined to a global audience. And sometimes that audience can be mean, but as long as you let them know, I believe in you, I'm your champion, I'm your yay sayer, and even if people say you can't do it, I want you to know, I believe you can do it. It is not crazy. And take that passion. We need it. I need you to do it. So thank you so much. And I will see you at the rest of the event.